The shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole ego personality, for no one can become conscious of the shadow without considerable moral effort. To become conscious of it involves recognizing the dark aspects of the personality as present and real. This act is the essential condition for any kind of self-knowledge. That was a quote by Carl Gustav Jung in his book Aeon Researches into the Phenomenology of Self. Forgotten Fury in here, I'll kill you with my teacup. Alright, so I'm back for another episode of Books for Trolls. This will be Leadership Pain, The Classroom for Growth by Samuel R. Chand. Okay? I was recommended this book indirectly by Pastor Darren Spoo of First Baptist Tulsa, local megachurch. He says, suffering is not an obstacle to joy. Suffering is actually an opportunity for joy. Alright? I agree. Except that, to me, joy is just a philosophical concept that's completely unattainable. Unless one is prone to philosophical optimism, right? Or especially dispositional optimism, which is basically naively optimistic, or feverishly optimistic, if you will. But I will agree that suffering is an opportunity for enjoyment, right? Yeah, I mean it like that. So this will be a review of Leadership Pain by Samuel R. Chand. The book comes out swinging with the following phrase. And if TLDR, this is all you need to know about it. He says, you will grow only to the threshold of your pain. And I'll say it again. You will grow only to the threshold of your pain. All right. So I've been told anecdotally by people and by a doctor that I have an exceptionally high threshold for pain. All right. However, as with God, this book and most people wants even more. The author, rant mode by the way, the author is an Indian American or brown person. So he uses an entire chapter to whine about white racism, although India has the most slaves of any country on earth out of every race to this very day. The current world slavery map and global slavery index show that Caucasian majority countries have no slaves and have abolished slavery, and every other race still has slaves to this day, and a lot of countries it's still legal. Check it out. And of course, everything I cite will be hyperlinked in the description box of my videos, as always. What's that, you say? Yes, he did. He married him a snow bunny, a white woman, because brown women are less attractive. Everybody know that. He never did mention affirmative action, university admissions, scholarships, and government or privately mandated hiring, though, which only Caucasian men don't receive, and which he rode straight to the top. By the time he smashed out, he was the head of his own little mega church. And it's funny because this book says that pastoring was one of the hardest jobs, and I was like, really? That's what stay-at-home moms say. It was so difficult, right? So difficult. So apparently the kind of racism that's against Caucasian men's just fine. White men, that's just fine. But regular racism against everybody not Caucasian men, that's wrong. And sexism, it goes on a big thing. It goes full SJW for a little bit, but mostly it Jesuses it up a notch. But yeah, he goes into feminism too. I'm not going to say what was said or whatever, but yeah, he does. Or should I say feminist themes. My racism, my sexism. So this Christian man experienced the slightest of discomfort in the early days and a little bit of stress worrying about tiny things at the top of his career. And just like that, he's an expert. We probably all know someone like this. I know bunches of people like this. They had it, okay, there's two kinds of people. Had it on a silver platter, but claimed to be self-made kinds of people. Those are the especially arrogant ones, They think they're really great, but really they're just super average and just had it easy because of what their parents helped them to do. And then the normal people, what I call, they had it easy, but to them they had it difficult because every little piece of gravel is a mountain to them, right? Whereas people with a steep incline, they generally will rate themselves pretty low. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. High-skilled people rate themselves low, low-skilled people rate themselves high. Okay? So, this book goes in on pornography and fornication, but not on women divorcing in the vast majority, making men surety for a stranger, having usurped authority over men on an institutional level. See 1 Timothy 2:5 and 1 Timothy 5:8 and Titus 2:5 for examples. But they definitely don't want us males watching that devil porn, even though we have 2.5 times the brain space devoted to sex drive and hypothalamus. That being said, I did enjoy this book quite a bit, like I said earlier, and I happen to be a masochist myself, so I enjoy pain, right? I got used to it at a very early age, and it's kind of like riding a roller coaster or getting in a fist fight, both of which I enjoy. So masochism is the practice of seeking pain because it's pleasurable. Boom, bam, boom. It doesn't always have to be sexual. Like I said, it's just like a roller coaster sometimes. Reading this book on pain and leadership was like going to church, namely like being suffocated to death by a so-called loving embrace. There are things, however, that are so evil that imagining or dwelling on them is enough to drive a person completely insane. I know because I've done so intentionally. See the quote about the shadow. These things do exist. Try it for yourself. So God does exist and provides a valuable service concerning unspeakable evil. Hey, I just got my first tweet. What's up? I signed up for Twitter finally about a couple hours ago, and I just got my first tweet. So what's up? What was I saying? God exists, provides a valuable service for unspeakable evil. So the book gives the following summary for its contents. A formula. Growth equals change. Change equals loss, and loss equals pain. Ergo, growth equals pain. I also like the message that growth increases stress, because of course that's correct. And the book also goes over the something called, what I call, radical honesty, and that's something I live by personally. People ask me some pretty, loaded questions, I guess you could say, because people want to find the weakness, right? So I'm the kind of guy, I'll just straight up tell them whatever. I don't, whatever. What are they going to do? Really, what are they going to do? Nothing. So I like the message of radical honesty, and I like pain. So it's overall, I found this book to be quite agreeable. The book also said, don't ask God to raise your pain threshold. He might just answer that prayer. Well, challenge accepted, and I'll be sure to tell God off while I'm at it. Yeah. Alright, so I'm finna smash out. The book did get something right, though. No pain, no gain.